In our prerequisite video, we have already seen how the supply system works. That means what is a primary transmission, what is a secondary transmission, and what is a primary distribution, and what is a secondary distribution. So we are also familiar with the feeder and distributor. So various components of distribution system that we have to learn. So for that, our first unit will be the distribution systems. In distribution system, we are going to cover first point, that is what is called as a classification. So how these distribution systems are classified? So first classification will be according to type of current, according to nature of current, we'll say. The first classification will be according to nature of current. Second classification will be according to construction. And the third classification will be according to scheme of connection. So further, there is a classification. If it is according to nature of current, then we have already seen that this distribution system is classified as DC or it is AC. In DC system, we have seen it is maybe 2-wire DC or maybe 3-wire DC, right? So in AC system, further there will be a classification, and that will be primary distribution system and secondary distribution system. This will be the classification according to nature of current. So according to construction, the distribution system will be classified as overhead, and the second classification will be underground. And we have already seen according to scheme of connections, we have seen the system is classified into three parts, that is radial distribution system, ring distribution system, ring main distribution system, and the third one was interconnected distribution system. Interconnected distribution system. So this is how the distribution systems are classified. Now we should know actually what are the components of distribution system. So there are actually three components mainly. First will be feeder, second will be distributor, and the third will be service mains, and the last component we may call it as a distribution transformer. Distribution transformer, right? So what is a feeder? A feeder is a three-phase, three-wire system. We have already seen in our prerequisite video that a feeder may be of 11 kV, or it may be 22 kV, or it may be 33 kV, it may be 110 kV, it may be 220 kV, or it may be 400 kV. So feeder is a high voltage cables. It is always three-phase, three-wire system. Now what is a distributor? A distributor is a three-phase, four-wire system. If it is three-phase, three-wire system, then it is a feeder, and if it is a distributor, it should be three-phase, four-wire system. Neutral is associated with the distributor, so between the two phases we will get the voltage as 415, and if it is a phase and neutral, then we will get the voltage as 230 volt or 215 volts accordingly. So this is three-phase, three-wire system. This is distributor is three-phase, four-wire system. A distributor has three-phase, four-wire system. You always remember. Now next one is service mains. Service main is a cable which is connecting consumer to the distributor. Consumers are connected to the supply through the distributor with the help of service main. Now, what is a distribution transformer? Distribution transformer is the last component, and that is nothing but a transformer which is a delta star transformer. It is generally a step down transformer which is used to supply the consumers. So this is regarding the classification of various components of distribution system. See, for feeder we cannot take the tappings, but for distributor we can take the tappings. This is again one of the main difference. So feeder is a high voltage term and the distributor is a low voltage term. So this is what we have to understand for the classification and various components of distribution system. Now our second point of unit 1 is we have to compare the underground and overhead systems on the basis of volume requirement of a conductor. So for that we are going to solve some derivations, and we will be considering these systems, say DC system and a AC system. If it is a DC, then it will be DC 2 wire or DC 3 wire and DC 2 wire with midpoint earth. Similarly, if it is AC system, AC will be considered as 2 wire AC or 3 wire AC or 2 wire with one midpoint earth. Now next will be 3 phase 3 wire AC system. For that we are going to derive the expression for volume of conductor required, and next will be 3 phase 4 wire AC system. Now you can see these are the overhead systems. Again this will be also a overhead system. So we are going to jot down some various expressions or equations for volume requirement of the conductor in all these systems, and we are going to compare this system as per requirement of the volume. Taking the comparison on the basis of volume requirement of the conductor, we are making some assumptions, and these assumptions will remain unchanged. So first assumption will be power to be transmitted, that is P, is same in each case. So we are talking about the power. Power will be measured in watts. The power to be transmitted in each case will be the same. Now second assumption will be distance L over the power is to be transferred will be same. Means we are considering L is same for all the cases. We are considering power to be transmitted, that is also same for all the cases, whether it may be single phase AC, whether it may be 3 phase AC, or it may be DC. We are making the assumptions like this. And the third is the line loss is same in each case. Line loss will say in watts, so we'll use the suffix watt for the line loss, and power to be transmitted will be measured in the P suffix will be used for the power to be transmitted, and L will be for the length. And the last one assumption that we have to consider is that the maximum voltage between any conductor and earth, that is Vm, we are seeing the maximum voltage between any conductor and earth will be Vm, and it will be same in each case. These are the 4 assumptions we will always keep in the mind. First assumption, as I told, power to be transmitted in each case will be same. Second will be loss that is will be same in each case. L will be the length. Power to be transmitted, the length of system will be same in each case. The voltage between conductor and earth is Vm, and it will be same for all the cases. But this voltage in case of DC it will be the maximum voltage, but in case of AC we are writing RMS voltage. Now we'll see the expressions for volume of the conductor for various defined systems. So first system we'll consider a DC two-wire system with midpoint earth. There is some common law for deriving these expressions, and if you know this, then you will be able to derive the expressions for all the systems. So what are these common rules? Just I am telling you, just keep it in the mind. So if it is a DC system, you know what is the formula for power. Power is nothing but V into I. So what is this V? V is the voltage between the two conductors, right? So I is the current flowing through the conductors. So if you know P is equal to V into I, now this will be the first step. Second step will be I is equal to P upon V. Now the third step will be calculate the loss. So loss we have already stated in terms of W, and W will be I square R. So this I will be P upon V. So depending on the system, if it is two wire system with midpoint earth, then between one wire and earth there will be Vm voltage, and in another conductor and earth there will be again Vm voltage. So this voltage will come at that time will be 2 Vm. So accordingly you can jot down. So loss will be W is equal to I square R, but this I square R is for one conductor. Suppose it is two wire system, so with midpoint earth, then I will write 2 I square R will be rho L by A. Accordingly I will calculate the A. Further I will put the value of I as P upon 2 Vm, or whatever the system is according to the system. So these are the common steps we'll keep in the mind, and we'll derive the expressions for each system one by one. First again I will explain. Just note the equation of power, calculate the current. After calculating the current, go for the line loss. After going line loss, you have to, before calculating the line loss, you have to put the value of R as rho L upon A. Calculate the area. Now volume formula will be area into the length. Now these are what the common steps. Now we'll go for the first expression derivation. DC two wire system with midpoint earth. So we'll see the first alternator, the second. This is first conductor, this is second conductor, and the midpoint of the source is being earth. So let us say the voltage between this is Vm. Vm is the voltage between this conductor, and again this will be the Vm. So between the two conductors, I am getting the voltage what is called as a 2 Vm, right? So now as per our predefined steps we will go. We know that power is equal to voltage into current. Voltage between the two conductors is 2 times Vm. So power will be 2 times Vm into I. So I have calculated the current. So my current is power upon 2 times Vm. So this is my expression for the current. Now I know that the value of resistance is nothing but, you always keep it in the mind, the resistance we have to take as rho into L upon A. So rho is specific resistivity, L is length, and A is the area of a cross section. Is to calculate the line loss. So what is our line loss? Line loss is nothing but I square R. Now I square will be there, but if it is one conductor then it will be I square R. So here are the two conductors. So we'll write here 2 times I. We'll put the value of I from equation 1, and we'll put the value of R from our equation, from this equation. Say it is a 2, equation number 2. Then we'll get W is equal to 2 into I is my P upon 2 Vm, this square, and the value of R which I have obtained, which is known, and that is A. that is rho L upon A. So A is area of cross section. You have to write the meaning of the terms also. Now if I solve this expression and if I calculate the area, so area is of much more importance for me, because if I know the area, I can calculate the volume and I can make a comparison of this equation with respect to other type of the systems. So if you rearrange the equation and if you find the value of A, then what you get, A as P square rho L upon 2 WVM square. So this is my value of area. Now I will go for the volume. So this is my, I can say this is the third step. Now our next step is to calculate the volume. Now volume of the conductor required, volume required will be nothing but the area into length. So area into length, it's not one conductor, so as it is a two conductors, so volume of two conductors needs to be calculated. So I will write 2 into area into length. So volume will be area into length, and if I do the calculations, I will get the value, that is P square L rho, P square L square rho upon W Vm square. So this is the volume of conductor which is required in case of DC two wire system with midpoint earth, and we will always say that this value is K, and accordingly according to this K we will see whether maximum volume required, whether more volume required or less volume required for single phase system or three phase system or DC two wire system, that we will see in the next equation. So we will always say that P square rho square, P square L square rho upon WVM square is K. So volume of conductor required for DC two wire system with midpoint earth is K, and what is the value of K? It is nothing but the P square, that means amount of power to be transmitted, its square into length square into resistivity of the conductor. So it is whether it is a copper, whether it is a ACSR or whether it is a aluminium, accordingly it will be. So then W, that is the line loss, into maximum voltage square. So volume is inversely proportional to the maximum voltage. So greater the voltage, so volume required will be less. So accordingly we'll see the next derivation. Now we'll see the second derivation, that is AC two wire system with midpoint earth. So it is a AC two wire system. Let us say this is the first AC, so this is second. Its midpoint is earth. Again here are the two conductors. Now we'll see the volume what is required for this. So our steps will remain as if it is. So now let us say between this there will be a voltage between first conductor and ground is Vm. Similarly voltage between second conductor and ground will be Vm. So this total will be 2 times Vm again. So my equation for the power in case of, but it is a AC system, so my equation will be Vi cos phi, right? This will be Vi cos phi. But what is this V? This V is 2 times Vm, 2 times Vm. So I will write the equation as P is equal to 2 times Vm I cos phi. Now in case of AC, I am always considering the RMS voltages. So I have to divide this by root 2, then only I can get the value of the power transmitted in that case. So I will divide this by, if I divide this by root 2, well, what I will get is root 2, I will say Vm into I cos phi . So this will be root 2 into root 2, right? I will get the value of the power transmitted as root 2 Vm I into cos phi. So what is the value of I? I need the value of I. So I will be P upon root 2 times Vm cos phi. This is my first step. This is the first step, and this is my second step. Calculation of the current which is needed for the transmission. So this is I is equal to P upon root 2 Vm cos phi. Now our next step is to calculate the line loss. So my line loss is W, and W is I square R for one conductor, but there are two conductors, so I will write here 2 I square R. Now this line loss will be equal to 2 times P upon root 2 Vm cos phi square into R, where we will always write the value of R as rho L upon A. So we will write here, but R is equal to rho L upon A, where A is a cross section. So if I calculate, see, I will write here W is equal to 2 into P upon root 2 Vm cos phi this square into rho L upon A. Now you have to rearrange the equation and you have to find the value of area. So what is required to calculate the volume? So first we have to find out the area, which is equal to P square L rho upon W Vm square cos square phi. By rearranging this equation, we will get this as an area. So what is my volume? What is our intention? Our intention is to find the volume required in case of this type of system. Volume required. Volume required of whose? Conductors. So how many conductors are there? 2. So what is the volume area into length? So we'll write volume required will be equal to 2 times, we'll put the value of area as P square L rho upon W Vm square cos square phi into L. Now I will multiply this L with this, so I will get as 2 rho square L square, 2 P square L square rho upon W Vm square cos square phi. Right? This is the expression what I receive. So now see, if you check, you can easily understand this value, that is P square L square rho and W Vm square. So this was our K. So we have to say 2 upon cos square phi, and this value is K. So we'll write here K. Now it can be easily seen that whenever this type of distribution system is there, then the volume of conductor which is required will depend on the power factor. So definitely more volume of the conductor will be required in system, that is what is called as a AC system. So 2 into K upon cos square phi. So here please keep it in the mind, this is power, and this power is in terms of RMS value. So right, we have plotted the equation root 2 Vm into I cos phi. This is a RMS value. So we have obtained the value of the volume of conductor as 2 upon cos square phi into K. So you can say easily 2K upon cos square phi. So upon cos square phi is this. So maximum it can be 1. So again we can see, if it is a 1, then again we can see 1 square is 1. So 2 times the volume is required than case of DC. So this is the expression which clearly tells that whenever it was a DC system, the volume required was K, but whenever it is a system called AC, even though its power factor is unity, then again the volume required of the conductor will be 2 times K.